Hello, I'm Richard Hooper and this is SatTV Week. Now I'm here at Cabsat where I'm pleased to be joined by Mitja Lovsin of STN. Mitja, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Richard, again. So it's always a pleasure to see you.
Let's start with post-merger with ICO. How's that progressed?
I think we did a really good job of reorganization, which was due to get everybody in line, to have all the organization as one, functioning as one, to align all the capacities. I mean, it was a very, very tough few months. However, we are there, we are hiring, we are growing. So everything looks very positive. I think everybody is pleased. And so am I personally, to be honest. It was the right move in the right moment. So very happy with everything.
Now, I mentioned we're here at Cabsat. So it's an important market for you, but why?
Traditionally, since the incorporation of the STN 20 years ago, by the way, it's 20 years this year. We are celebrating the 20 years anniversary. So this market has been always our strongest market. So we have been coming to Cabsat, year after year for the last 18 years. We still have the biggest revenue and the biggest portfolio of customers is coming from this region. And, it's a good opportunity to meet not only the customers from the whole of the Middle East, but also a lot of our African customers, feel comfortable coming here. It's very easy for them to travel. So it's a really good opportunity. This is really the most important show for us, always have been and still is. So I'm really, really looking forward to see everybody.
What particular sectors, the vertical sectors out here, are showing the most performance?
It's interesting that, in the satellite, let's say satellite is kind of it's basically steady business in this region, and Africa is a bit different. Maybe there is still a bit of a growth we see, but here is a steady business, But we see that, when it comes to the broadcasting, the satellite is simply doesn't cut it anymore, Just the satellite as a standalone, and a lot of customers were pretty much 90% of our customers are expecting to have some added value, They expect to have, with the same provider, they want to have, of course, cover all the social media platforms. They want to be on the dedicated OTT platforms, either white label or on the MENA-Flix. As you know, we have this dedicated platform for the MENA region. So basically the satellite by itself simply doesn't do. They moved on here in the region, and they are more demanding. Of course, the prices are still, when it comes to the satellite, I think the prices are kind of stable. They were dropping for a while. Now they stabilized. Some of the player left. So it's quite a stable market when it comes to the satellite. However, the other vertical, as I said, the other distribution means, and their needs for the distribution to reach a younger audience have increased massively. And talking about that, actually, we just launched, I don't know if you heard, a e-clutch platform. So this is a dedicated, and this is targeted to the young audience. This is the e-gaming, e-sport platform, which is enclosed platform, of course, is a pay TV platform. And we are offering to the all pay TV providers. We are also on the 7 West. We have one transponder in cooperation with Eutelsat. On 7 West, we also have it in Europe on Hotbird and 16A. But for this market, 7 West, so we have a lot of interest for, let's say, the players here in the region, because this is something new. It's a linear. Of course, it's a linear. But besides it's a linear, we also offered, we are negotiating the live events, which are, of course, always the most attractive for the young audience. The package includes basically all, seven top channels, live channels. Now we are going into the VOD, AVOD, and this is like the full offering, which we hope and we are counting that this region will take it. I mean, we have several meetings during the Cabsat, and I think there is a lot of interest for all the major players here in the region to take this on board. So we are very hopeful, that this is something that we are going to promote very heavily during the Cabsat this year.
So looking forward, are there any challenges that you've got to overcome, or is it all perfect at the moment?
It's never all perfect, Richard. The world, unfortunately, is not perfect, never was and never will be. The challenge is always there. The challenge is, in some of the countries where they are under pressure from all sorts of organization, is getting the money out of some countries. This has always been our challenge, and this challenge is increasing. Let's be honest. There's a lot of pressure from the U.S. governments, the European governments on certain parts of the region here, and they're struggling to get the currency out. This is really something that we are looking at. We are also addressing it, with the local, let's say, banks, and also the ministry. We had several discussions, through the Slovenian embassies, how they can help, because they are now we are entering the period where without this, let's say, influence, or let's say, or at least for the government to jump in and help on the government level to get some of this, is going to be in some countries very challenging. So we are addressing this as well as we go, but this is the biggest challenge that we are facing at the moment.
Mitja, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Richard. Pleasure.